Good morning, you guys. Everything looks so beautiful right now in the front yard gardens. I know I shared them maybe a week or so ago, but they've changed so much, and I want to show you how much it's changed, what's blooming, and I mean, look at all those flowering trees. The landscape looks fantastic right now. So I'm in zone 6B, New Jersey. It used to be 6A, but the hardiness zone map changed and I've moved to 6A. In this bed, we've got some ajuga blooming. Not really my favorite. It is a ground cover. It was here when we moved in. It is really pretty in the spring. It does kind of fill the bed in. I don't love it. At some point I'm gonna rehab this garden. It's just not gonna be this year. I've got some black-eyed Susans growing. For those that follow me, you know how fantastic this looks in like August. I do also have some false indigo coming up over there, and the daffodils, as you can see, are kind of wrapping up their time. In this container, I've got some spreading pansies, ranunculus, and cordyline, and then I've got a border of pansies in that garden, and I've got some daffodils that are wrapping up, some that are still blooming. I had some tulips planted along here. A chipmunk or something got to them because they're gone. I did wind up relocating a few, and some of them bloomed. But I'm gonna have to, I think I'm just gonna do all daffodils along here and just call it a day because they seem to leave those alone. I've got some alliums coming up in the back over there. They're gonna start blooming soon. And all around the front yard garden really looks so pretty right now. But what I really wanna show you are all of the tulips. They're fantastic. So as we come down my driveway and head over to the potager, just take a look at that gorgeous view. Look at the trees. It's so pretty right now. Flowering crab apples doing great. All of the daffodils still going, but they're kind of wrapping up their time. My perennials are starting to fill in. I don't know if you guys, if you follow me on Insta, but my snowplow guy in the winter literally drove through this entire bed, like 15 feet, destroyed all my perennials. I've got a St. John's wort in here that he drove through. I was hoping he would leaf out, but I think I gotta just dig that out. It's done. And yes, someone drove through it again. I don't know how it's even possible because the driveway is wide enough, but for some reason, people drive through this bed. It's really wet down there in the lawn, so mowing is a little bit of a problem. But the grass was so long, it needed to be cut, but we've got some divots now. It's gonna happen, it's spring. That tree drives me nuts. I'm so upset about it because it's a beautiful tree, but look at it, it's growing sideways. I think we're gonna have to take it out. I don't think there's any fixing it. We've got a stone pillar like right there, and I mean, who wants a tree growing sideways? So I think we're gonna probably wind up taking that out this year because it just makes no sense keeping it there. Maybe I'll plant something new in its place. I don't know, I gotta really think that one through, but sadly, it's just not doing well. But getting back to these gorgeous trees, I mean, look at that. Isn't it beautiful? So I am planting a bunch of perennials this weekend. We've got, I think I have about 150 perennials. So as you can see, I've placed a few outside of the potager garden, placing a few around here in this bed. I call this the driveway garden just because, I mean, it's along the driveway and it's easy to identify. But I just kind of wanted to walk backwards and show you guys the view from this side because, the trees are like spectacular right now. And they only last like maybe a week or so. But man, when they bloom, they are really something, right? So I do have some lavender in here, completely driven through by a truck in the fall. I mean, look at that. It was perfect. These lavender I planted when we first moved in, and they were literally perfect last year. And someone drove through them. I was like, if you know what, if you guys have a suggestion of what I can plant or what I could put in the driveway along here. It's a pretty long driveway, so it's got to be cost effective. But if you have any suggestions on what to do, I mean, I was thinking like Belgian block or something to keep people from driving into the beds. It's never happened before this year. I mean, I've seen like the very rare occasion of someone driving into the bed, but I gotta tell you, it's like weekly now. It's crazy. We've got a driveway. I don't know why it's so hard to stay on the driveway. But anyway, if you have any suggestions, please drop it in the comment below because I would love to hear what you have to say. But getting back to the garden, I would love to show you guys all of the tulips because, oh, they look spectacular right now. And I'm like so regretting not pulling out all this Pachysandra sooner because I wish I had this whole bed filled with tulips. So you know I'm doing that in the fall. But look at this garden. So we'll just look at it from this vantage point because next year that's going to be filled with tulips. Look at them. So I've got Tulip Cream Upstar, Tulip Aveyron. I have to look up these other two because I don't remember the names offhand. But I've also got some Coreopsis that we divided. That is a baby's breath spirea that we actually moved about 5 feet. And I've got some bearded irises in here. I just planted those last year. Hopefully they'll bloom. Some alliums are starting to bloom and really the garden looks gorgeous. I planted probably 100 pink Darwin hybrid tulips and they are spectacular with that green fence, right? So I clearly need more. Definitely need more because I didn't have enough to go along there and I didn't have enough to go along there and it totally needs it, don't you think? Oh, looks so gorgeous. We got the fountain going. We started setting a few things up in here. I let my Brussels sprouts flower, and I eventually let my broccoli flower. I did harvest some, but I'm just letting it go now. I'm gonna be ripping all these out anyway for tomatoes. And over in this bed, I've got some lettuce and chives and herbs and a couple of other goodies like onions. But as you can see, the bed really sunk down. So last year when we filled these raised beds, we did leaf mold on the bottom from, we have a huge collection here of it. So we filled the whole bottom of it so we didn't have to spend so much money filling the beds. But I didn't get a chance to do this bed this year and like top it off. So I've got to actually dig all these out, top the bed off today with some, I think I'm going to use some raised bed mix and compost and fill it. And then I'm going to replant it with a lot of the same plants. And I will be tucking in some flowering plants just to get a little color over here, you know, all season long. But for now, that's what's happening over here. I did have a little bit of a critter problem. I winter sowed a number of seedlings, one of them being China asters, and I actually planted them. Well, I noticed that something ate some of them, so I grabbed some wire cloches and just put them over the top. I'm gonna have to kind of fix them and move them around so I have them all grouped in an area since, you know, the critter kind of did a little damage. And finally, I want to show you a little bit of the progress that we made over here at the cottage. I told you that we've been working on this. We need to paint the side. We do need to finish that shutter over there, but we painted the fence, we mulched the garden, painted the whole side of this house so that it wasn't peeling and looking pretty awful. We finished the walkway over there. I'll kind of take you over there and give you a quick peek. And I've got a lot of work ahead of me today because I am planting all of these perennials here today. And in the back there, I'm going to be planting a bunch of my seed starts. Not yet though, because it's been a little chilly here at night and I don't want to risk them having an issue. But it's going to be really fabulous. Yeah, plants all from Proven Winners, favorite grower, and I've got my work cut out for me today. So I'll have to bring you guys back when it's all said and done. But let's take a walk over to the walkway so you can see how that's coming along. It's not done by any means because we do need to finish the step over there, but and I gotta figure out how to cover this pipe. It is drainage. We have a drainage pipe here because we have a huge drainage issue, and I gotta figure out how to cover this. I don't think the stones are really gonna do it. I don't know, thinking about maybe painting the pipe, or maybe removing all this stone and actually planting it so that it eventually covers the pipe. I don't know, I gotta think it through. But won't that be a beautiful view of the potager? Look at that, oh, gorgeous. And the pond bridge. Now that is liriope down there. It used to be all in here. We took it all out for this bed. I'm definitely taking all that out. I mean, that is just not my jam. I definitely want to put flowers in there. And after seeing all those tulips, I might have to do a tulip bed, maybe of those pink Darwin hybrids, because they're just amazing, right? I mean, they're amazing. We do have deer here, so I'm hesitant to do that. But they generally do not come in here, so I might do it. I might. But I don't know, I might chicken out and do daffodils instead. But anyway, let me take you over here and show you the rest of this little patio that we have. So this is this is what I call the cottage. It houses a bunch of my stuff for bricks and blooms. And this actually was half just nothing. Like there was just dirt there. So we just extended it and made a full patio. And I think it looks really good. And I think once this is all planted up, it's gonna be a really pretty spot. It does get full sun. It's a little early in the morning right now, so you don't see it. Some of the plants not looking amazing right now. They need a little bit of water. I'll be doing that shortly. I just wanted to give you guys a quick tour and show you kind of how everything's coming along. And that's it, you guys. Thanks so much for joining me in the front yard gardens today. I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy a beautiful day.